Hello friend, this is your 1000 liter toothpaste making machine, and now I will tell you how to use this machine. When you receive this machine, you can install it like here. You should first connect to your factory power. You can see here we have L1, L2, L3 wire, the neutral wire, and here we have the ground wire. You should connect these wires to use this machine. And then you can see here we have the Siemens inverter. You can see. And then you can see here is the control panel of the machine. This is the home page. And then here we have the indicate lights, the loading cell, the emergency stop, and the main power. When you make sure the machine's factory power is okay, you can turn on the main power. But now we have machine to use, so we already opened it. And then here is the loading cell. You can push this button to make the number become 0, and then this actual number is now presenting the tank weight. The tank weight now. The tank is full of water, and the tank jacket now is full of water. And then so the number is this one. If you want to test the number when you receive the machine, you should make sure that the tank is full of water, and then you can loading the actual weights of the material in the tank. And then you can see the loading cell here, one. Here also have the loading cell to help you to weigh the material in the tank. And then you can see here is the vacuum pump. And then here we also equip you with the water storage tank here. And then for the bottom, you can see we have many valves, and you can see here is the manual valve for you to discharge material, and this one is pneumatic valve for you to discharge material. And you can connect the pipe for here. This one is the toothpaste discharge pump. You can connect the pipes like from here to here to let you discharge the material. And then for here, you can connect to your storage tank. And then now we can circle back to the machines. You can see here are 5 pipes here, and I will introduce each pipe. This one is for the steam inlet. You can equip the steam generator here to let the steam into the jacket. And then here is the cooling water out pipe here. And then this one is cooling water in pipe here, you can see. And this one is the condensate water out pipe here. And this pipe is quick drain for the condensate water. And also you can see the valves are all pneumatic, so you don't need to manually control the valve. You can just control on the PLC screen. Okay, and you also see here are some pipes here, and I will tell you which is which. And this one is for the vacuum pump water outlet, and this one is for the disposal water outlet, and this one is for the vacuum pump storage tank water outlet here, and this one is for the vacuum pump inlet, and here you can see is for the disperser water inlet. And for the cover accessories, and now I will introduce one by one. Here you can see here is the vacuum well. This is for you to use the vacuum function, and here is the release vacuum function valve. When you need to release the vacuum, you can turn on this valve. Here is the pressure gauge of the vacuum, and here is the wheel window. You can check the material of the tank. You can see here. This one is the disperser 1 and disperser 2, and then this one is the missing paddle. And then you can see here, this one is the ingredient hopper. When you need to add some ingredients into the tank, you can just go through this hopper. And this one is for the CIP spray ball for you to clean the tank. You can see here inside the tank. We equip you with the CIP spray ball. You can see there are two spray balls for you to clean the tank. And then you can see here is the PLC screen. We equip you with 2 PLC screens. The difference between these screens is no difference, but here we have the loading cell. The loading cell is under the here. Okay, and now I can introduce the control panel to you. You can choose the language here. We have the Chinese language and the English language. Choose the English, and then you can see this one is the main port situation panel for you to reference. This one is main port, and when you need to change the parameter, we have the parameter sets here. You can change the parameter. And this one is temp curve. This curve means the temperature curve here. And this one is alarm. When the machine have some mistakes or go wrong, you can see here we have the alarming to you to tell you where the machine is going wrong. And then go back to the main pot. And now I will introduce this panel one by one, and this one is for the mix. This one is the speed, and this one is the time. It's actual display. This one is dispersing 1. The speed and time you can set. This is the dispersing 2, the speed and time. And this one is for the pressure into the tank and the temperature of the tank. And this real-time quantity of the powder, it means the actual sucked powder through these 2 tanks. You can see we have equipped you these 2 powder mixer. Is the actual suction of it, and we have equipped free for you to have the spare use. This discharge means the actual discharge of the main tank. And then you can see here we have the different buttons. This one is the vacuum pump. When you want to use the vacuum function, you can push it. This one is the mix function, and this one we have discharge 1 and discharge 2. This is hydraulic up and hydraulic down, and this is heating function, the cooling function, and the jacket seal switch function. The powder discharge 1 and powder discharge 2 means if you want to discharge powder from these 2 tanks, you can press this button. And this is for you to spare use, and this one is the main tank discharge. When you want to discharge the material in the meantime, you can push this button. And now I will tell you how to use each functions. And now let's go upstairs to use that PLC screen. And also here we have the pressure gauge here. This pressure gauge will display the pressure of the jacket. And when the pressure is arrived to the limits, it will turn on and then protect the jacket. Now let's see the home page of the PLC screens. You can choose the English language. Now, okay, if you want to use the vacuum function, first we need to set the parameter first. You can set here the upper press. You can set like -50, and then the lower press you can set like here. -80. And then when you use the vacuum function, when the vacuum is arrived to the -80 kPa, it will start to fall back to the fall back. If it fall back to the -50, it will restart vacuuming. And then let's see about the cover accessories. You need to confirm that these valves and these valves are turned off. These wheel window are also turned off, and then these two valves are turned off too. And then you can open this vacuum valve, and then you can use the vacuum function, turn on it. And then you can see the parameters is keep changing. When this number arrives to the -80, it will start to fall back. Okay, if you want to turn off the vacuum function, first you need to turn off the vacuum pump here. And then turn off this valve. And then you can see the tank is under the vacuum stage. And then if you want to release the vacuum, just make sure all the other valves are turned off. And then turn on this valve. Then you can see the number is keep changing. And the vacuum is released. Now let's test the missing function here. You can go to the parameter set. And then you can set the parameters here like this. You can set 50, 55 speeds, and then the time you can set like 10 seconds. When the time is arrived to the 10 seconds, the missing function will stop automatically. Now, let's see. Go back to the main pot. Then open the missing function. Now you can see the missing function is working. After 10 seconds, it will stop automatically. And let's test the discharge 1 function. You can see here. You can set the speed 1000 and the time you can set like 15 seconds. It's the same like the missing function. When the time is arrival to what you set, the discharge function will stop automatically, like SC. Discharge 1, turn on. It will stop automatically. Let's see the dispersing 2. You can set 900 speed and then 12 seconds. Then go back to the main pot and turn on the discharge 2. Then you can see the discharge 2 is now working. When it arrives to the 12 seconds, it will stop automatically. Let's see the panel. Now it has stopped. And now let's see the other functions. If you want to test the And now let's test the hydraulic up function. You can see the tank is now slowly hydraulic up and stop the function. And then let's test the hydraulic down here. Okay, and now let's test the heating function. When you want to use the heating function, you can set the parameter first. Here, we have the main heat of the tank. You can set the temperature here, like the 65. And then you can set the first jacket switch, 2 or 3 seconds here. Let's set the 2 seconds. And then go back to the main pot. And then you can open these two functions. The heating function and the jacket switch function should open at the same time. And then when past the 3 to 5 minutes, you should turn off the jacket switch. And then the heating function will stop automatically when it arrives to what you set. Like we set it 65 degrees Celsius. It will stop automatically when the temperature is arrived to the 65. Turn off the heating function. And then if you want to use the cooling function, you can set here. This is the main cooling. Like you can set the temperature like 20 degrees Celsius and then go back to the main pot. And then you can use the cooling function here. And then if you don't need, you can turn off it. And the powder discharge, you should make sure that the pipe is connected through this main tank and these two powder mixers. And then you can use the powder discharge function to discharge the powder from the powder mixer to the main tank. And then this powder discharge free is for your spare use, and this one is for the discharge the main tank material. You can turn off or turn on the lightning for you to better see the main tank material. And this also have the emergency stop button for you to emergency stop the machines. Okay, for the final part is your toothpaste discharge pump. Like I just have said, you can equip the pipe here to your main tank discharge valve, and here you can equip with your storage tank. And then you can see here is the Siemens pump inverter and the discharge pump on button and discharge pump off button. This is your two powder mixer, and now I will tell you how to use these two mixers when you receive this machine. First, you can see here we have the soft pipe for you. You can cut these two pipes, and then one pipe you can install in the powder mixer through the button discharge valve, and then one pipe you can connect it to the main tank button discharge valve. And then the other powder mixer is the same. You can install the soft pipe between the powder mixer pneumatic discharge valve, and then one is for the main tank button discharge valve. And then here you can see we equip you with the two suction pump here and here. This suction pump, this powder suction pump, you can suck the powder, and then you can see here we equip you with the package to let you collect the powder. You can see the powder suction pump. The powder will be sucked from here to here, and then you can use the package to collect it. The other powder suction pump is the same function. And here when you receive this machine, you can see this is the control box. You need to connect to the factory power here. There is the L1, L2, L3 wire, the neutral wire, and the other wires. You need to connect it according to the numbers. You can see. And when you connect to your factory power, you can then open to your main power. And then you can see the indicator light is on, and here is the emergency stop button. When the machine goes wrong, you can push this emergency stop button to stop the machine. And then here you can see we have two powder port missing frequency converter to let you change the speed of the powder. And here you can see the four buttons. These two is for this tank, and these two is for this tank. And then here is the powder port missing and powder discharge. It is same powder port missing and powder discharge. And here we have the left two green buttons. One is for the powder suction, and this is the same for the powder suction too. And then let's test this machine. You can open this powder port missing, and then you can see the speed of the frequency converter is changing. And if you want to change the speed, you can just push this OK button, and then the speed will change. And let's see the tank inside. Now is working. And then you can turn off this button. And then let's test the second tank, the powder port missing. You can open this button, and then you can see the speed is keep changing, and then you can change the speed here. And then you can see the tank missing is function is working. And then you can turn off it. And then you can test the powder discharge. These two function, you can see. Open it. Open it. The powder will be discharged. The powder will be discharged for the tank. Then close. Turn off it. And then here is for the powder suction. You can push it. And then you can see this tank has the wind air here. It will suck the powder through the powder suction pump. Here, you can see now it's working. You can see now it's working. Turn off it. The second tank is the same from the powder suction. You can press here, press the wind here, and then turn off it. And then when you don't want to use this machine, you can just turn off the main power. When you want to discharge the main tank material, you can use the discharge pump. But first you need to turn on the discharge pump on, and then you can see this, the speed is automatic changing. And when you want to change the speed, you can push here menu to change the speed. You see this one is cannot change the speed. You want to change the speed menu, push here to change the speed. And then if you do not want to discharge, you can turn off the discharge pump off button. And then you can see the pump is stopped. And this is the whole introduction of the 1000 liters toothpaste making machine. Thank you.